Dubai Autodrome, pre-season testing. Second time in the car on 6. Trying to learn the balance. When the tyres are cold, they're cold. So trying to get the pressures up, get the temperature up, which is great. It's really interesting because you need to carry a lot more speed than you think through the corner. So having Mikhail, who's a great instructor, has been incredibly insightful to sit beside me and tell me where I can push more, where I can go easy more, where I'm on the limit, where I'm not. So really, really insightful. They will get the most out of you because they do this day in, day out. So big shout out to Mikhail and the team at Rent a Race for supporting me today. Tough sesh. It's quite cold out there, comparative to the normal. And the track gets quite sandy. So yeah, it's a bit of a tough one, but I mean, it's all hours, right? So putting the hours in, trying to get better, trying to improve your driving, trying to improve your skill, trying to improve your confidence. But yeah, excited to see what the year brings.
Started the first day at Silverstone, first proper day with Shiraz, just shaking out the bad habits, getting used to the track, the car, just getting him to do what I was asking in terms of how to drive smoothly. A lot of track drivers are quite aggressive on the brakes, and you don't tend to need to be too aggressive. So we're just trying to shake out some bad habits to make him flow with the car. The car itself is underpowered compared to what he's used to. So it was all about just getting used to flowing a bit more, carrying momentum. So we had a few bad habits on day one, but actually as we transitioned into the afternoon of day one and into day two, there were a lot of good stuff happening, and he was starting to get that flow and carrying some minimum speed. And the whole thing was starting to look and sound and feel really nice. All right, Shiraz, so we've completed day 1 and 2, your first 2 proper test days in the Porsche Boxster in preparation for your first ever season in the Porsche Boxster Cup. How are you feeling?
Do you know what, it's been incredible actually, because you come into having done quite a few track days before, you come into this thinking that you know your craft a little bit, and all of a sudden you come in something which is relatively less powered and actually requires a lot more of you as a driver. I think the consistency of 2 days back to back has really made a difference. Yeah. Having one-to-one coaching, as you know, is I think critical. Yeah. But even within my profession, mentoring is absolutely key to progression. But no, it's been a fantastic 2 days, and really sentiment to your advice, because I feel like I'm driving better.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the most important thing that I think you found was a good flow with the car.
Yeah.
You know, you were carrying good speed, nice braking points, nice accelerating points, understanding where the car can snap on you and when it can't, not underdriving and not overdriving, just finding the sweet spot.
And I think what's really been lovely is finding that within this controlled environment and having a predictability about that. That's been my worst nightmare. I've talked to you about this before, where you're you know, oh, it's going to go on you and you don't know how to. No, actually, it's telling you it's about to go before, and actually you're starting to just small adaptation. So for me, in this relatively controlled environment, it's been fantastic, and frankly, I'm just really excited about the season. So why is it that we drive? What is it about driving that keeps us coming back? Life can get on top of you sometimes. Sometimes work, life, stress, family, all these things can seem like they're closing in on you like a vice. You wake up at the break of dawn, you go for a drive,
It's fantastic for your mental stability, for clarity, and to get your shoulders up and just want to carry on. We all have something that we do, that we love. Sometimes isn't good for us, sometimes is good for us, and that keeps us pushing in life. And I think for all of our petrol heads out there, sometimes whether it's on track, whether it's Silverstone today, whether it's your local roads, whether it's driving really peacefully and whether it's driving more spiritedly, having some time just with you and your machine does wonders for the heart. Sometimes it's those moments where you get to stop everything that you're doing, take a deep breath, just go for a drive at sunrise. It's a privilege.
So that's it, guys. That's the end of pre-season testing. It's been already been a bit of a journey, you know, as I've talked about with Dino, and as I'm sure Dino's covered himself. When you're a track day driver, you probably can drive in a certain style, particularly if you haven't had any tuition before or mentoring. What I've found is by one-to-one mentoring, driving an actual race car that in essence has got less power, you're really required to try and carry as much momentum as possible. And you know, I can quite openly talk, you know, being on the limit, the possibility of the car losing the rear is quite a frightful point for me beforehand. But you know what, having driven at relatively high pace, with possibly moments where we're losing grip, has been fantastic because it's all happening in a relatively controlled environment. I think I'm really excited for my race season. I've wanted to do this since I was, you know, a 7-year-old boy, and obviously work and life and education hasn't taken me down that road, but I'm really, really grateful that my sponsors, my supporters were able to help us get racing, and hopefully we'll have a really fruitful career racing in the future. So let's get racing.